with you.
Hey, thanks for coming back. Hey, today we're doing something very classical, something old school, something southern. Okay? We're doing a classic southern chicken fried steak with a white gravy. Right? We got some mashed potatoes to go with it, courtesy of Mama Straw. But hey, I know you're going to enjoy this. It's delicious. Look at what we got. This is what you're going to get to see. Oh yeah, look at that. Hope you enjoy it. Hey, this is Shrashira. That's the best elevator music I ever heard. Alright, so rather than making a basic classic chicken fried steak, I'm going to enhance it, right? So when I say enhance it, I'm going to give it an additional flavor boost. And I'm going to do that by adding paprika to it, to the recipe. But not just any paprika, okay? We're going to go Middle Eastern, if you will. We're going to add smoked paprika, okay? And since a lot of people, believe it or not, have never had smoked paprika, when your taste buds first get a sample of that, it's going to go wild, right? It always confuses the peanut gallery, especially Mama Straw, because although she likes regular paprika, smoked paprika throws her whole game off. And if she wasn't weary about being on camera so much, I would show you her reaction because it's always priceless. But yeah, that's how we're going to enhance it. We're going to add the paprika. Now, the smoked paprika, you don't need a whole lot. It's going to find a way to your taste buds. Okay? I want you to remember that. So let's go ahead and enhance this. Okay, so for this part, we need about a cup of milk. Okay, let's start there. It's for the egg wash. 3 eggs. Okay, we can use that for the egg wash. Now for the breading, we have a couple cups of flour here. We have about 1.5 tablespoons of smoked paprika, tablespoon of black pepper, tablespoon of salt. And we're going to mix this up into the breading. And then we're going to work on our egg wash. So let's add the smoked paprika nicely. Pepper. Yep. Salt. Okay, let's get this all mixed in. Some may think that's a lot of seasonings I put in here. It's not even close. Because of the amount of surface area of the flour, not even close. Now let's work on the egg wash. Egg wash. Add the milk. Right, or 1 cup of milk. And our eggs. 3 eggs. And we mix this up. You want to beat the eggs into the milk. Okay, now let's grab our cube steak. Okay, so we have our cube steak. We want to put it into our flour mixture first. Give it a nice coat. Hold it up, stretch it a bit. So the flour can get in all of the creaks and crevices. Another one. Give it a shake and stretch. Down. There we go. Now what we're going to do, we're going to add it to our egg wash, because that flour is going to help the egg stick to it, which is going to allow more of the flour to stick to it. You see that? This guy goes in, and while that guy's sitting there, we're going to cover this guy up. Now this cube steak has been sitting out for about 15-20 minutes to get room temperature. That's what you want. This guy back on the pan. Let that sit there. Little bits there. Okay, let's get this guy all nice and egged up. And the egg wash. And then into the flour mixture. And this is going to go in here. Now let's start getting the oil ready. Alright, turn the heat on our pan. And we want to put some oil in here. We're not deep frying this, right? You just want the oil to come up, you know, about a quarter to a half an inch. So we're going to be shallow frying these things, you see? And what I have here is an instant read thermometer, right? Well, it's an infrared actually, an infrared thermometer. And I can scan the oil and it'll tell me how hot it is, right? When it gets to about 350, 360 degrees, we're going to add our cube steak. So I'll see you when it gets ready. Okay, we're up to temp. Let's add our steak. You know, carefully add the steak, all right? Always away from you. Don't put your finger in there like I did. And we're gonna let this cook for about 45 minutes, and then we're gonna flip it over. All right, let's turn this guy over. It's been about 4.5 minutes. I'm going to use a fork. Those tongs just weren't working right. All right, we're going to give these guys, this side, about 4 minutes. Okay? See you back then. All right, let's take this guy out. And we're going to put it on this baking dish with the cooling rack. And we're going to check the temp. See what we're looking at temperature wise. It dropped a little bit naturally. But we're still good. We're still good. Let me add the other one. So let's put this guy in. You know, again, lay it in away from you. Be careful, you don't want to splash yourself. I will not be responsible for you splashing yourself. Now we're going to give this guy 4.5 minutes on this side, and then we're going to flip it. Okay, it's been 4.5 minutes. Let's go ahead and turn this guy over. Oh yeah. And we're going to give this guy about 4 minutes. Alright, let's take this guy out. It is ready. And we're going to take this and we're going to put this into a 200-degree oven that's been preheating to keep it warm while we make the gravy. Alright, we're going to need some onion for the gravy. The white gravy, we're going to need it. We need the onions. I'm just going to cut these up real quick. You're probably looking at what I say, about a quarter cup of onions, diced, quite small. You know, if you don't like onions that much, hey, don't use that many. If you really like onions in your gravy, hey, use as much as you like. Hey, knock yourself out. But for me, this is all I'm using. Right here. These guys in there. Now let me show you what else we got for the gravy. Now for the white sauce, we're going to need about 3 minced garlic cloves. And because we're using chicken stock that's in the box, well, we're going to be using a half a teaspoon of salt, a teaspoon of ground pepper, right? 3 tablespoons of flour. And I looked at it. I wanted a little bit more, so I'm using about a half a cup of onions. And here I have 3/4 of a cup of chicken stock, and then 2 cups of milk. Let's start getting this together. I have our pot here. I'm going to add, I say about a good tablespoon, 2 tablespoons of oil. Right? And then when this heats up, we're going to add our onions. All right, let's add our onions. Now, with the onions, all we really want to do is soften them up, right? We don't want to give them too much color because the sauce is a white sauce. So we're going to let this go for probably 2 minutes, but keep it moving. You just want to soften them up, sweat them out a bit. Now let's add the garlic. And again, remember, you're not trying to put color on this, you're just cooking it through. So the garlic, it's going to take about, 25-30 seconds. And then we're going to add our flour. Okay, let's add our flour. And we're going to cook that flour taste out. That's going to take about 40 seconds or so. Could take up to a minute, depending on where your heat's at. My heat's at medium right now. And see, there's no color on this. I'm not trying to caramelize the onions. I'm not trying to caramelize the garlic. I'm just sweating the vegetables. And I'm cooking that raw flour taste out of it. So we're going to cook this for probably another 20 seconds or so, I would imagine. And then we're going to add our chicken broth. See, I'm constantly moving it, you see? Because I'm not trying to brown it. I just want to cook the flour. Now we add our chicken stock. And we mix it up. Because we want that flour, or I guess you could technically say that roux mixture, to incorporate with the chicken broth. Now we're going to add the milk. Add the milk in. Take our whisk it up. Add our salt and pepper. Salt. Really good mix. Now we're going to put the lid on this. And once it comes to a boil, we're going to turn it down to low and let it simmer for about 10 minutes. All right, so you can see it's percolating right now. So what we want to do is stir it up, right? And we want to turn it down to low, okay? And then you want to take this every minute or so and stir it up because you don't want it to overflow, okay? As a matter of fact, let me crack it a little bit. And in 10 minutes, we'll be ready to go. Okay, we got roughly about 2 minutes left, but see how it's percolating? Yep, we just wanted to get a little thicker. I mean, I've seen some, white sauces for the chicken fried steak, and they're like incredibly thick. I don't want mine super thick, like sausage gravy, for example. But I like it somewhat, I want it to have a little bit of body, So we got 2 minutes. All right, so it's been 10 minutes. Give me a tasting chopsticks. Get a little taste. Not trying to burn myself, but I want to taste it. Oh, that's good. That is good. Yes, indeed. Turn the heat off. Let's plate this bad boy up. Mama Shaw made us some potatoes. So we're going to have some potatoes. Nice buttery potatoes. There we go. Got our cube steak. Yeah. Got our gravy. Oh, delicious. Put a little bit of gravy on the potatoes. Look at that. Now we're going to top it with a little bit of parsley. Just to make it look good. Yes, indeed. See what we got. So here we go. Our classic country chicken fried steak with a white sauce, white gravy if you will. Hey, if you like this, hey, give me a thumbs up. Don't be stingy with it. It's free. Give it to me. Share me out if you can. If you're not already subscribed, hey, join the peanut gallery. We have room, our arms are open, and we'll always leave the light on for you. Also, look me up on Instagram. Put my name in, look for the gray cat. Because on Instagram, I will always let you know what I got coming up next. That being said, this is Shrashira. I am out. Y'all see what I'm about to eat? I wish I could share with everybody.